Everyone to take their seats, please. And we're going to ask the color guard to present the colors now. Go at it.
Attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Prepare to post the colors. Right hand salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. 2, please post the colors. Color guard, return to post. About face ready? And. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. About face ready? And. Color guard at ease.
Thank you, too. You guys ready to be seated? Nice job, guys and gals. I'm Todd Williams, Chuck's brother, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies today. I was an Eagle Scout. I've been an Eagle Scout in this troop since 1982, and really happy to be here and certainly proud of the young men that joined the ranks. If you take a look at the back of your program, you'll see the troop's storied tradition and the multiple pages of Eagle Scouts that have earned the rank at this troop. Certainly we're proud of all the men and women now that have joined the ranks to be Eagle Scouts here. I would like to bring Greg Hooker up here at this time. We're going to introduce each one of the Eagle Scout candidates, and Greg will introduce Connie, who will be introducing the next two candidates.
Good afternoon. I get the pleasure of introducing one of our Eagle Scouts today. It was noted by another Scoutmaster that I don't do this very often. And it's true, in the 25 years that I've been in the troop now, I think I've only done this. This will be my 5th or 6th Scout that actually asked me to introduce him. I don't know why that is, probably because I'm in charge of discipline. And so most of the Scouts that I spend most of my time with generally aren't up here. But who knows? Maybe they're intimidated by me. Maybe they're scared. Maybe that's a question for Alex when it's all said and done on why he chose me. But let's talk a little bit about Alex. I'm sure you've all read his biography in the leaflet. I know that we've all been warned over the years of be afraid of the quiet type, right? Don't ever date a quiet one. Still waters run deep, and your mama's always warned you about the one that sits quietly in the corner. That perfectly describes Alex. He generally is quiet until he gets to know you. And then once he gets to know you, he's the one that will always lend a helping hand. He's the first one to stand up and help. He is the one that when you ask for something to get done, Alex ensures that it gets done. And you can go to him later if you need a fire built, or you need this done, or you need that done. Alex will go make sure it gets done. He'll get the help that he needs. A true epitome of an Eagle Scout. It will be done. But don't get me wrong, Alex is that one that you want to be a little bit shy on. So when we went on the RATV trip, one of the biggest rules were no spinouts, no spinouts, no spinouts. My son, of course, was yelled at numerous times for spinning out. And at one time, he spun out and got yelled at, and we all got yelled at. And I looked right at Alex and I said, Alex, knock it off. You're setting the wrong example. What? I said, I see you every time we take off, spin your tires. He says, I know. Alex is also the one that was in the basement when the basement door got broke. Of course, the 3 boys that were involved, 2 of them are Eagle Scouts sitting up here, the other Eagle Scout is in the audience. But Alex, of course, just gives you that wry-looking smile and says, I don't know how it happened. I might have been there. But he's always the one with the glimmer in his eye and just gives you that smile. And you know the work has been done, or something else that you might not want to have been done, he might know about. Let me bring forward Alex Eagle. Honor Guard, please bring forward Alex. Come on forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Eagle. And as Todd mentioned, next I'd like to introduce our venture advisor or associate advisor, Connie Nye.
All right, I'm gonna do mine a little differently. I like them sitting up here while I talk about them. So if the honor guard would please bring forward Cameron Phillips. And Greg, yes, it's because you're scary.
I'm scared.
Todd says he's scared of you. Cameron. Yes, Chef? When I get asked to introduce an Eagle Scout, my process starts by brainstorming words. What comes to mind when I think of that scout? And I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression, but to be quite honest with you, the first word that comes to mind is surprising. Not because it's surprising he's sitting here. I knew that was gonna happen, although he probably gave your parents a run for their money a little bit, a little nervous. Okay. You being up here was a foregone conclusion for me. What I referred to is your journey to get you to this stage. You can see in his bio all the positions that he held, all the adventures that he went on. So I'm not really going to talk too much about that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Cam that I've come to know. It's no secret that before a scout comes upstairs, which is what I call, hanging out with the cool kids, being in the crew, I don't know them very well. I don't know much about them unless it's for the absolute wrong reason that I learned who their names are. But Cam was not one of those. So it's probably more true than any other scout that came upstairs. I knew so very little about him. What I did know is that the whole time you were downstairs, you had that reputation for being dependable, conscientious, a hard worker, but you were never a flashy scout. You never put yourself out there, which is the perfect definition of a servant leader. But the term keeping your cards close to the vest takes on a whole new level when it comes to Cameron. It goes hand in hand with this aversion to being the center of attention. Being up here, I gotta think, is probably one of the last places you truly wanna be right now. He even went so far as to lie to his scoutmaster about when his birthday was, because he was afraid that we would do something for his birthday at a troop level. And he was right. What he didn't understand is the panic that ensued because he said August and it was July, and this is his 18th birthday. And we had to quickly run at camp, get online, look up Troopmaster to confirm the fact that he is indeed lying to us because we were having a panic attack about you making Eagle with about 3 weeks to go. It is legit October, correct? Thank you. That was not nice of you. Okay. There have been other things we've teased you about over the years. Okay, myself included. Okay. But as I got to know you, I understood more about you. I tried to kind of pull back on that a little bit, and I encouraged others to do so. Stubborn and independent are other words that come to mind. Getting you to ask for help or accept a helping hand is like getting blood from a stone. And I do hope that someday you'll realize it comes from a place of love. Now back to your flashy leadership style. Fast forward a few years and you came upstairs and it was like this switch flipped in his head, right? You became this unstoppable force. Whatever it was, whatever needed to get done, it got done. The servant leadership was still there, but you took suggestions and you made changes that the crew wanted you to do. It wasn't your way or the highway, but laser focus doesn't even begin to describe it. Staying on task, not sitting idle when things needed to be finished, leading by example, encouraging others to be the best version of themselves. All of that put together made for one of our best summer camps that the crew ever had, leading to the Bender Award, which we also had not earned in years. The best part of it was you did it by leading by example as well. You are stellar. When he asked if he could be my VOA officer, my VOA president, I couldn't say yes fast enough. And he is right now currently showing all of those leadership qualities as my Venturing Officers Association president. I know you're working on Summit, and I know you'll get it if it's something that you want, because you always manage to get done what you find to be important. I am so proud to be up here right now, Cam, and I just want to say congratulations. Yeah. Next victim. Can the color guard please bring up Trevor Ulmer? By the way, I have to say, I am so happy to see so many of our Eagles out here today that we don't get to see because they've all grown up. So I think that's just exciting. Trevor. When I overheard your dad on the phone telling Chuck that you were going to ask me to introduce you, I was sure I had made a mistake. I was sure I hadn't heard that. And as the days passed and you didn't, I knew I had misheard. Then you texted me on Thursday. What is today? Thursday, you texted me. I was happy to do it. You stated in that text message that you enjoyed our time together when you were in the crew. And honestly, while I am honored and pleased to be here, I'm also really surprised to hear that, because when I think about our time together in the crew, I feel like it was me yelling at you all the time or wondering where you were. I'm pleased that's how you feel, but shocked, because I swear to God, I bellowed Trevor across the field more times than almost anybody else that summer. But then I got to be thinking about it, and I realized that you were really being led astray by that hooker kid, So maybe it wasn't totally your fault. Okay, he knows who he is. And, he's a bad influence. But Trevor is not like a lot of scouts who spent their scouting career downstairs, okay? And I should say he is a lot like those kids. I didn't get a good chance to know him until the summer when you were vice president and you came upstairs for the summer camp, and we got to know each other a whole lot better. And I believe that's the summer you got Sit in Society merit badge, right? You and, who else? And we did Sit in Society. For those of you that aren't familiar with that merit badge, it is unlike any other merit badge in the fact that it asks the scouts to talk about their personal beliefs in some pretty complex subjects, okay? You were thoughtful, you were honest, and your answers, you showed an introspective young man that you don't often allow others to see, and that started to give me hope. I love to see when that happens, and I'm grateful to see that kind of growth, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Your ability to do whatever is asked of you with a cheerful willingness is a gift that shows a generous heart. But all of that, all of those flowery things, completely and irrevocably disappear when a deck of cards shows up. I can only assume this happens in hockey as well. Okay. Now, I have been lucky enough to play euchre against you and, of course, you know who, once or twice. I simply can't take the abuse. It's pretty relentless. Now, don't get me wrong, it's all in good fun, but I draw the line when you wake up neighboring campsites. Somebody needs to teach the both of you to win gracefully. Okay, that was happiness at winning. They were waking people up. As far as dominance at the euchre table, I might give that, but I beg to differ a little bit. And while I could be accused of stacking the deck, there is another eagle out here in the audience tonight that can claim to have gone to the World Euchre Championships. And if I can get both of you at camp at the same time next year, I might stand a chance at not being crushed. So let's see, Grayson, challenge accepted? There we go, okay. I might take you down with me, but it may be that I can finally at least win a hand. All kidding aside, away from the card table, you are one of the kindest, friendliest, most loyal scouts that I'm happy to watch grow over the last couple of years. You can do whatever you set your mind to, and you've shown me numerous times that as long as you're not asked to wake up too early in the morning, you can accomplish anything. So my singular advice to you is all afternoon college classes, and you'll make it. You'll be great. Congratulations, Trevor, and all I can say is I can't wait to see all of the things that you're going to accomplish in the future.
Well, I thought I'd start off with a little bit of a personal experience about being an Eagle Scout. Like you guys, it seemed like a lot of the world is being thrusted on me right now, whether it was I'm heading to college or I was going to all the great things that I wanted to do, with my life. As I got through college, Chuck and I, our dad helped us get into business. I'm a Burger King franchisee, which I think most of you guys know, and my brother was in the printing business for a long time. And our dad helped us get along. And like will happen to you likely one day, your parents will pass on. When this happened, was a difficult time in business for me, and I needed to get a loan in order to do whatever ridiculous thing Burger King required me to do at that time, which I can't even remember what it was. And it wasn't even really a big loan. I think it was like $100,000, which I know maybe sounds like a lot of money, but a business loan, it really wasn't that big. And I had gone to a couple of banks and wasn't able to get the financing because the business didn't really show that it was able to do so. And so I went to the local bank here in Farmington, which my dad had a little bit of history with, and sat with the bank president. And I'm happy to say that, and this is important because I wouldn't be standing up here as a Burger King franchisee. I'd probably be working for somebody else's restaurant because I'd really need to have this money to keep the ship going, if you will. And I sat there with Mr. Duke at Metro Bank, and he said, "Well, you don't really qualify for the loan, but I'm going to give you the loan. Number one, I've known your dad for years, and I know you come from a good family," which was great. And the other part was that you're an Eagle Scout. Now, I have no idea whether he was an Eagle Scout or not, or why he thought that this was so important. But he told me that, he's like, "I've never had an Eagle Scout default a loan, ever. And so I'm going to give it to you, even though you don't quite qualify for it. And I'm going to push this thing through to make it happen." I was like, "Oh, thanks so much." And he goes, "The reason why an Eagle Scout doesn't default a loan," he goes, "when it's the time that you're exhausted and you want to go home, I know you're going to stay and work longer." And he was right. He goes, "When it comes to making a sacrifice to make sure that this loan get paid, I know you're going to do what is expected in order to do that. That you're gonna honor your word, and that you're gonna pay this back, which I did, and everything went fine. So it's just kind of a personal experience that I had. It was probably, I'll be honest with you, it was maybe the only time that somebody was like, oh, I'm going to do this for you because you're an Eagle. And I hope that someday you'll experience the same thing, that it may not be a loan, or, you know, because probably nowadays that wouldn't happen, you know, the way banks are set up now. But maybe it'll be something else. Maybe it'll be a job that you really, really want. Might be a college you're trying to get into. It could be anything, really, that would be a good experience in your life. But I hope one time that you have that, because that probably set more to me than sitting here, or the experience of the ceremony, and all the expectations that all these folks have for you and the rest of your life. It sat in my mind for many other things that I've done. And every time I feel like I've disappointed somebody, whether it's employees or family or whatever, I've thought back and said, you know, I should do better. I need to fix whatever I broke, or you're never gonna not make mistakes, but you should think back on this time, this award, because you're going to hear from everybody about the expectations. You know, there's no other award in the world that you get that it's like, wow, I worked really hard to get this, and now they're expecting all this other stuff from me. And, you know, I congratulate each one of you. A couple of you I know really well. We've hunted together, and we've had some really cool experiences, and we've shot together. We've missed targets a lot, but I really congratulate you. Well, I did. They actually hit everything, but yeah. I'd like to bring up Art Malasau, who's Assistant Scoutmaster, Eagle Scout, and he's going to do this Eagle Scout investiture.
All right, thanks, Todd. Before I begin, just first off, I am an assistant scoutmaster, as Todd said. I am in charge of the Scouts BSA, what we would call the traditional program here. So I have worked closely with all of the youth that have been sitting up here for their time in middle school. And you know, I can tell that they've definitely matured and grown to fill into these roles here. You know, when I start with them in 6th grade or 7th grade and then 8th grade, it's a little different experience than when they end up upstairs with Connie and they're a little bit more mature and ready to handle things. Well, maybe by the end. By the end, they're ready. You know, in the beginning, they need a little work. And so what I'm going to talk about today is their journey, what they needed to accomplish to get to the rank of Eagle. And the one thing about all of these scouts up here now today is that, you know, it doesn't matter whether you get Eagle at 16 or whether you get it on the day before you turn 18. It's all about the path and the journey. And it happened that the scouts up here were within maybe a month or less of their 18th birthday, but they got there at the end of the day, and again, you know, they've achieved that rank. So to become an Eagle Scout, you have been tested in every area of scouting. Through the ranks of Scout, Tenderfoot, 2nd class, and 1st class, you were required to learn scouting skills. You tied knots, found your way with a compass, learned to cook, learned to camp, learned to care for yourself and others. Upon gaining the 1st class rank, you were ready to enter the next phase of scouting, learning leadership. You earned the Star in Life ranks by earning merit badges, successfully completing leadership positions in the troop, and giving service to your community. After earning the Life rank, you were fully trained for the challenge that scouting presented to you, the Eagle Scout requirements. Requirement 1 challenged you to remain active in scouting. Requirement 2 challenged you to continue to live by the principles of the Scout Oath and Law. To prove you had done this, you were required to obtain letters from individuals you know personally and would be willing to attest to your conduct as a Scout. Requirement 3 challenged you to earn 21 merit badges. 14 of those badges are required and 7 electives. For each of these merit badges, you were required to select and meet with a merit badge counselor approved by Scouting America and satisfy the requirements that you are knowledgeable in the requirements. Requirement 4 challenged you to prove your abilities as a leader. You had to secure positions in the troop and be responsible for completing the requirements of that position. You were pushed to be the best leader and meet the standards set by those who held it before you. Requirement 5 challenged you to plan, develop, and give leadership to others in a service project that gave benefit to the community. This project was required to be approved by your Scoutmaster, the Troop Committee, and the Michigan's Crossroad Council. Requirement 6 challenged you to reflect on the future life and write a statement that listed your ambitions and life purpose. You presented this plan to your Scoutmaster, who reviewed it with you and determined if you were fully ready to become an Eagle Scout. After fulfilling all of these requirements, you reached the last part of your scouting journey, the Board of Review. Your troop committee conducted this board with a representative from the Michigan Crossroads Council in attendance. They reviewed all of the requirements to ensure that you have met every challenge from Scout to Eagle Scout. Following the conclusion of this board of review, our troop committee, together with the Michigan Crossroads Council, submitted your application to the National Council of Scouting America for consideration and approval of your designation as an Eagle Scout. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, and Roger A. Crone, the Chief Scout of Scouting America, Brad Tilden, the National Chair, and W. Scott Sorrells, the National Commissioner, signed the application of Alex Eagle, Cameron Phillips, and Trevor Ulmer, officially making them Eagle Scouts. Congratulations.
Wow. Are you all 18? 18-year-olds make the best Eagle Scouts. They really do. It's a journey, right? It's not the destination. Famous Eagle Scout quotes often highlight perseverance, service, leadership, and character. From foundational figures like Baden-Powell, emphasizing the example that you need to set, the responsibility, and then modern Eagle Scouts stressing hard work and lifelong impact, like once an Eagle, always an Eagle. These are the themes that of building bridges, literally and figuratively. Some of the quotes that I thought that were pretty cool is, the sport of scouting is to find the good in every boy and develop it. I'm sure you may have heard that one. An invaluable step of character training is to put responsibility on the individual, right? That you need to be responsible. It's your job to do it. It's not everybody else's, right? Loyalty is a feature in a boy's character that inspires boundless hope. The scout is not governed by don't, but is led by do. And then show me a poorly ununiformed troop, and I'll show you a poorly ununiformed leader. Be happy that you came from a uniformed troop. I'm pretty sure an ex-scoutmaster of this troop wrote that. The one that Chuck and I went up under there. Well, listen. Now we would like to bring up Mike Schultz, who has brought a tradition back many years ago about Eagle Scout belt buckle, and he'd like to talk to you about it and then present it to you. Mike Schultz.
Hi there. As Todd said, I'm Michael Schultz, an assistant scoutmaster with the troop, and I've also been an associate advisor with the venturing crew. But today I'm here to talk about the troop belt buckle. So a highly prized trophy for any scout that's been to Philmont, and I'm not sure if all of you been? Okay, I haven't kept up on their exploits. But is a bronze belt buckle. Traditionally, this is the one. Now they make probably about a dozen different varieties, but it's a kind of a trophy from the adventure in Philmont, New Mexico, or in Cimarron, New Mexico, that you can buy at the end of your trek, and a lot of people wear them. I wore them for a long time. And so as Todd mentioned, in 2016, for the troop's 50th anniversary, we commissioned some belt buckles from the same Eagle Scout in New Mexico in a bronze finish with the Babe the Blue Ox, and it says date the troop was established and the troop number. And so as an offshoot of that, we decided to get some special ones commissioned in a silver finish that is the color of the Eagle Scout Award, the medallion that hangs on the badge. And that's the most revered color medal in the Scout organization is silver as opposed to gold, like the Olympics. And so we had a special run of those same buckles made in silver, and those are exclusively made just for Eagles in the troop or those that receive the Summit Award in the venturing crew, which is the highest award in venturing. So I suppose Cameron will get a second buckle if he finishes that award. And so ever since 2016, we've been gifting these to the Eagles and Venturing Summit Award winners. And so I have one for each of the Scouts today. And on the back, I have stamped with the sequential Eagle Scout number that they are in the troop. Alex is number 267, Trevor is 268, and Cameron is 269. And if you are interested, these buckles are for sale because the whole program is supposed to be self-funded, where sales of the buckles, either the bronze or if you're a former Eagle or a previous Eagle Scout from the troop, you can buy them to help support so that the troop doesn't have to pay anything for them. They're just kind of a circular system. Thank you, and congratulations, board.
Wow, guys. Thank you, Mike. Oh, there you go. All right, I'd like to bring up Greg Hooker again. And he is going to do the Charge to the Eagle, which is a pretty cool ceremony. So, Greg, come on out.
All right. Gotta get this over quickly. My beloved Buffalo Bills are about to play, unlike your Lions. I'm sorry, Todd. All right, let's see here. Thank you. All right, so only an Eagle Scout, an existing Eagle Scout, can give a charge to Eagle Scouts once they're elevated to their charge. I've been lucky enough to been able to do this on numerous occasions here in our troop, and it is an extreme honor and a privilege to do so. So if I could get the 3 Eagle Scouts standing front and center. And then one of the traditions that we have in this troop is to have all the Eagle Scouts in the room. Please come forward and stand in front of the Scouts. So, there's Todd. So because these are older boys, you'll see, as Connie mentioned, a lot of alumni boys were able to come back and attend the ceremony. So you'll see a lot of Eagles here today. And this is awesome. I have the honor to give you the Eagle Scout Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest award in scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitutes one of the most wholesome and significant movements in this world's history. You have been judged by the Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you are rejoicing in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are all marked men. As an Eagle Scout, you have a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is no small undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor not only to yourself, but to all your brothers and Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend on, for the most part, the quality of her citizens. Our country has had a great past, but you can help make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and your fellow man. So live and serve that those who know you will be inspired by finer living. We have too many that use their strength and their brains to exploit others, to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, reverence to God, and whatever others may do. Please, behind you, leave a record of which every scout will be justly proud. Eagle Scouts, I now ask you to rededicate yourself by repeating the Scout Oath. Repeat it slowly as you stand before your fellow Eagle Scouts. Scout signs? Not you, just them. Ulmer just wants to get in on the action. All right. On my honor. Two, resolve to uphold forever these principles with the same ambition and perseverance that have brought you thus far. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have now rededicated yourselves to the principles of scouting. But one more thing is, and which is the most important, is your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts. You become an example in your community. Remember that your actions are now a little bit more conspicuous, and that people now will expect more from you. To falter in your responsibility would reflect not only on you, but all of us fellow Eagles and all of Scouting. The torch that you carry is not yours, but it is also ours. Congratulations.
Zip around in that thing. It was scary. Okay, well, before I bring up my brother who's already spinned himself up here, you got had an opportunity to grab a page of some famous Eagle Scouts, and you guys have a nice glossy, almost frameable copy if you'd like to have one, right? And it talks about an Eagle Scout's obligation. There are some famous Eagle Scouts here. David Montgomery. Where's he from? Oh, Detroit Lions. He was drafted as American. Gary Peters, our congressman. Yeah. Steven Spielberg, the famous director. Neil Armstrong, the first guy to walk on the moon, right? Gerald Ford, one of our presidents, and Arthur Eldred, the first Eagle Scout. Because there are things there. Interesting enough, Arthur Eldred's grandson is also an Eagle, and so is his son, and so is his great-grandson. But his grandson is a Burger King franchisee in Colorado, and I got to meet him during some training, I don't know, 30 years ago or something like that. I talked about being a scout, and he goes, you may have saw my grandpa. He's on the front of every scout book. And I'm like, front of every, what are you talking about? And it's like, well, at the time, there was a picture of Arthur Eldred in the first couple pages of being the first Eagle Scout there. Not everyone that's going to be an Eagle is going to be famous, though. And so you need to understand that this is about service. And sure, there's a lot of great guys here that have done some pretty amazing things. And I could go on the list. I mean, honestly, this could be an entire book of people that have done some really amazing things. Hundreds of people through the astronaut program. There's 4 scouts in our scout troop that have gone to West Point, and some still does. 5? Is it 5? Okay, I'm sorry, it's 5. There's 4 that I can remember off the top of my head. I probably forgot one. Right? All kinds, there all kinds of things, but this award's really more than about the Steven Spielbergs of the world, right? This is about, the Chuck Williamses, right? He's given his life 40-something years of being a Scoutmaster and doing something for this community and helping out hundreds of kids. And it's not just the Eagle Scouts. The Eagle's a great thing, but an Eagle shouldn't be drug across the finish line. Right? There's all kinds of kids that have decided, I'm not interested in that award, but they learned a lot by coming through this program, right? And Greg Hooker, doing stuff, besides that he's a Bills fan, we can look past that and see the great things that he's done for the community, because honestly, would any of you guys ever get yelled at if he wasn't in the troop? There, and all the other people that give their time and do extra for the community, they hold public office, but they're on the PTA, right? They're doing other things. They're involved in community cleanups. So this whole thing about being Eagle, I don't want you to be have some fantasy that it's about, I got this award, now I'm going to be whatever, I'm going to walk on the moon. You may walk on the moon, and I hope you do. But you may just influence other people. You may be involved with your church or your community in some other way that influences other people to do the right thing and to move this country a little bit forward, and to move your community a little forward, move your family a little bit forward. And we really think that that's what the award is about. So I'd like to introduce my brother Chuck. He's been doing this, honestly, he's been a leader in this troop since he was 18 years old. He also got his Eagle Scout at the last possible second, maybe even a little later than the last possible second. So he is one of those Eagle Scouts I was talking about earlier. We are super proud in our family for the work that both Chuck and Connie do for the community and do all this work. And I couldn't be more proud to introduce my brother, the Scoutmaster, Chuck Williams. Oh, we made it.
Hi, Scouts. I've already cried for you, so I'll try not to again. Couple things to talk about Todd and what he was going on. There's an Eagle Scout named Alvin Townley. He wrote a book called On My Honor. You should get the book. I have one at my house. I'm willing to lend it out if you want to. It's a good book. He spent a year of his life, took work off, and went around and interviewed Eagle Scouts from around the country. And yeah, he had some famous guys, like Michael Bloomberg was one of the guys that are interviewed in it, and some senators and stuff like that. But mostly it was just people that are living their lives. And at the end of the book, the conclusion that he came up to was that, famous or not, we all have the same thing in common. We all give service to our community. That's what an Eagle Scout does. That's your obligation. Looking at this thing, and I hope you do tonight, before you go to bed, or tomorrow morning when you get up, read the Eagle's obligation. It's a nice little poem. But what I really want you to do is look at those famous Eagle Scouts and look at their faces and look in the mirror. Right now, because these pictures were all taken at the time they got their Eagle. Right now, you look just like they do. So you could be one of these guys, or you could be just a guy who does stuff in his community, but it doesn't matter. You're an Eagle Scout. Hold your head up high. You are the person that is doing this, that has done this, and we honor you today. At this point in all of our lives, when we're 18 years old, we all look the same, and we all have the same challenges, and we all have the same things ahead of us. The question is, what are you going to do as an Eagle Scout to make yourself stand out from all the other people? All right, I think we're ready for this. Who are we going to do first, Greg? Alex? Alex, will your parents please, and grandparent, I think it's going to come up, please come up and stand with you in the center of the stage, facing the audience. Come on up. I'm going to.
How would we get all the parents and grandparents in that?
Pan it on. Wherever you want.
Wherever mom wants it.
Stab him, Dad. You want to. I know you do.
It'll stay on.
Scouting America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Alex Scott Eagle, Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successfully completing all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Trevor or Kim? Kim? Kim, can you have your family come forward?
Not every scout wears the uniform properly.
They're hard to stick in. Once it's on, they never want it to come off. Scouting America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Cameron Michael Phillips, Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. All right, I guess that would leave the Ulmer family to come up. Scouting America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Trevor James Ulmer, Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Well, this is the kind of the favorite part of the program, and where each one of these young men get to come up and talk about, for real? I get to talk, I guess, to thank people, but really to talk about the experience that they've had in scouting. And I think it's really kind of neat to have them come up and to do that. And probably your whole life, because your name begins with E, you're like before everybody else. And Trevor, probably because your name begins with U, mine's W. So I know where you're coming from. You're towards the tail end. So we're going to start off with Alex coming up. You guys can introduce yourself, the next guy coming up after you're done, and come up and give us your wisdom. Yeah. Alex Eagle.
All right, so as many of you guys know, I'm Alex Eagle. I've been in this troop since the beginning. For me, the Trail to Eagle, it wasn't just merit badges and just patches and going to troop meetings and just it wasn't just about doing an Eagle project at the end. It was a very long journey for me. I'm much of a procrastinator, and I believe I had about a week, maybe 2 weeks, until I turned 18 to turn everything in. And it's a great opportunity to be a part of this troop. Yeah, it's just, wow. And becoming a scout, it's not just teaching other kids how to do stuff. It's wherever that journey takes you and wherever your service and your leadership gets you at that point. And Mr. Yandora, I'm going to start where it all started out is my Cub Scout pack in 231, that was at Lanigan, and you were, what was that, like our den chief? Den leader? Every single meeting, he was always there, he was always teaching us, and his son Logan was there too. He was in the same grade I was, and then his older brother Grayson, he was in a couple years older. Mr. Yandora, he was just always there. He was always teaching us. At every camp out that we did do, he was always there teaching us. It was always fun. Then our Cub Master, Mr. LaFave, I don't know if he's here, but just having him around, it was just a great time because he was always cheerful, always happy. He always just had that really good attitude, and I'm very thankful for that. And then getting into 179, when I first joined, it was the new scout leader there was Mr. Peters, and I think he's here. He was hiding out in the back. He was outside hiding. But joining that program, like I said before, he always had that fun attitude going on. And just some of the stuff he'd do to get the scouts going, because trying to wake them up in the morning was always kind of difficult, and just, yeah. And I just remember summer camp. It was very eventful with him. It was always fun. We go down to the Rifle River, and a couple scouts, they wouldn't have water shoes, and then they'd show up wearing Crocs, and those are not water shoes to him. So we'd get grocery bags and then duct tape it around their ankles, and that would be their water shoes. So it was always quite fun. Yeah, and he always just kind of stood out to me, and it was just fun being around. Mr. Eimel and Mr. Budgery, it was always fun working with you guys in the equipment program. I was there for a little bit, and I don't know how you did it, but especially you, Mr. Budgery, you just stare at me, and you just had the disappointed dad look going on. And it always just kind of confused me. I was like, I'd always question myself on what I did wrong. And same with Mr. Eimel too. He'd get in on it, and yeah, I'd lose it. And then Mr. Effersey, he's here. I was in the Axemen Patrol for a little bit, and throughout my traditional years, he was one of the few traditional leaders going around, and he had that wisdom, and we'd be planning menus, and we'd say some of the stupidest things, and he'd always guide us on the right path, because some of our ideas were not the greatest. And one of his things that he'd always call us is, I think he called every scout it, but it was a Yahoo. And yeah, he called every scout a Yahoo, and that's kind of his thing. Mr. Pernick and Mr. Philbaum, I believe they're watching. But those two, they kind of stick out to me. I did a couple merit badges with them. And I tell you what, those two guys, they didn't make it impossible to finish the merit badge, but pretty close to it. Just some of the questions they'd ask you. And then you'd answer the question, and then they'd always have you question yourself beyond that. And yeah, it was always fun working with them. Miss Dawn and Mr. Ulmer, I always remember you guys kind of being the cooks of the troop. Without you guys, I don't think we'd have food. But if we did have food, it probably wouldn't be very good. And also Miss Dawn, you always kind of helped us out, considering you were the blue card counselor person, and we wouldn't get very far without you, and thank you. And then Mr. Ulmer, I remember a time with the ATV camp out. I believe there's like 4 big quads and there's like 5 adults, and you were the one adult that was riding on the little Honda, and to just see this big guy on this tiny little 4-wheeler it was always kind of fun. Yeah, it was very interesting. And then Mr. Brown, I believe he's not here, but I think every Eagle Scout can say this, is working with him it was always a pleasure. You'd email him at any time of the day, and he'd probably email you back within a couple hours, maybe a day, but he'd always have the questions and answers for you. And then Mr. Malisau, I always had the pleasure of working with him in the traditional program, and when I was a middle schooler, going through your program, it was just a pleasure to work with you. I think I was your ASPL, once or twice. And you were always kind of level-headed in a way, always being very forgiving to scouts, always giving a second, maybe a third, fourth chance to them. Yeah. And then Chuck, I don't really have very many words. It's just, you're our scoutmaster. You're every single meeting, just about every camp out, you were there. And as SPL, I think I did it 3 terms. That's a year and a half. That's a long time to be SPL. And I'd always have questions for you, and you'd always have the right answers. And because of you, you are the reason that a lot of us, including me, became an Eagle Scout today, because you were always there pushing us, giving us that, trying to get us that momentum to keep on going. And it was I struggled a lot, but you always helped us push through. Yeah. And then I want to thank a lot of the people that are watching. I believe my Aunt Laura and my Uncle Vance, they're out there watching. They're from Florida, so it's a long ways. Yeah. Do I do mentor? No? Yeah, sure. Okay. There's a very special guy in my life. I've only met him. I've known him for 5-6 years now. I've done a lot of work with him. He's got a company going on, and it's just driving to job sites. He'd always have the wildest stories he'd tell us, and just the stuff he'd gone through. And 3 of his sons, they got their Eagle Scout. And could I have Mr. Jerry Thompson come up here? And I got something for you. Then my other mentor would be Chuck. Like I said before, you're always kind of there for us as scouts. It's a great time working with you. Yeah.
Stick it on my platform.
Right there.
That's right.
Thank you. I didn't give out very many mentor pins because I think half this room would have one, because everybody in this troop, family members and friends, they're always pushing you along, always asking you questions. I remember just about every night my grandpa would call me, or I'd call him, and he'd always ask me, hey, how's Boy Scouts going? And I'd always tell him some wild stories that we do at campouts and at meetings and stuff. It was a great time, and I'm very happy and very thankful to be here. So thank you. That's all I got. And could I have my mom and dad up here? I got a picture for you. Do I give it to them? All right, next we got Cameron Phillips and his thank you speech.
All right, I didn't really write a speech because there would be so many typos in it, but I would like to first start off with thanking my dad. He always really pushed me to try to get done my Eagle project for like a year. He was just coming back from meetings. He would be like, when's your Eagle project? What are you planning? And then my mom, who's always like, you could always do another thing to get your Eagle. So thank you for both my parents. Thank you to all the leaders that have helped me, Mr. Malasau, Mr. Ely, Connie, Chuck, Mr. Schultz. All of you helped me. There's more. All the people who I did scouts with who are here. Yeah, thanks to all of you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. All right, I have the pleasure to announce Trevor to do his speech.
I'd first like to thank everybody for coming and being here today. It's really nice to see all my family and friends out in the audience. This achievement would not have been possible without the support of many people. So first I'd like to thank my parents and family, my dad who was there ever since I was a Cub Scout, always being a part of whatever I was doing, and my mom for pushing me to always, she was the one that was really pushing for me to get to my Eagle Scout, which I kind of needed, but it was nice to have that support. I'd like to thank Scoutmaster Chuck and Connie and all the adult leaders for building such a beautiful program. I really had a great time here. And then to all my friends, thank you for teaching me how to really do the work, how to cook. To my euchre partner, Josh. Yeah. And just all the great times we had, whether it was as quartermasters or building something as a project. It was always a great time being around everybody. And finally, I would like to thank all the people who helped me with my Eagle Scout project and supported me along the way. This rank represents years of hard work, growth, and service, and I am proud that I have reached it. Becoming an Eagle Scout is an honor I will carry with me. Thank you all for being here and for being part of my scouting journey.
Okay. Oh, come on, open up. Okay, so this is a letter that I wanted to read to you guys that, you know who Mike Rowe is, right? The dirty jobs guy. So this is taken from a letter that he wrote. And I thought that it was, I thought it would really resonate with you three in particular, okay? So back in 1977, I got a letter from the President of the United States congratulating me for being an Eagle Scout. The letter was thick, it had creamy paper, And my name was typed at the top, and Gerald Ford's signature, who was president at the time, was at the bottom. Right next to it was the presidential seal saying congratulations, right? It was very impressive. However, when I studied it, the president's signature and then compared it to the bottom of my compadres, they all had identical letters on it, and it was sent from our scout troop here and then other scouts from other troops. I came to the conclusion that I wasn't holding a personal letter from the President of the United States. I was holding a form letter. Don't get me wrong, it was a nice gesture and I appreciated the sentiment, but I decided then and there that if I ever found myself in the position of sending out thousands of letters to Eagle Scouts everywhere, I wouldn't try to fool myself. I would never try to fool the recipient that this letter was coming, directly. Because remember that a scout is trustworthy, right? Whether a scout goes on to be the President of the United States or host a cable show or be a hamburger guy or be a scout, be a engineer or financial guy for GM or any of the other things that you see around here. What I want to be absolutely clear about is the nature of this letter is what I did. In fact, this is written every word by my micro. And I did not write it specifically for you guys. It was wrote generically so it could be used over and over. The truth is the people out here are the people that are truly touched by what you guys have done here, right? So the people out here are the ones that are honored by what you're doing, and that these are the people that we really want to impress, right? I want to give you some advice, though, that Mike's dad gave to him, and very similar to what my dad gave to me, and I'm sure he did to Chuck. Don't be cocky. You got a really cool award, but don't be cocky about this. Contrary to what many people have told you, this award will not change the way people look at you. I'm sorry, but that's true. We now live in a world where everyone seems to get some sort of trophy or award for everything they do. I used to joke about that this troop couldn't walk across the parking lot without getting some kind of hiking medal. So Americans simply have no idea of how difficult or how special your accomplishment truly is. Most people, anyways. But the fact that's not the fact that's worth bemoaning. The truth is, an Eagle Scout, the Eagle Award, comes with no magical power or influence. It's simply recognition of what you have accomplished so far. And while it's true that many Eagle Scouts have gone on to do great things in this life, it's also true that many others have not. I know a guy who got his Eagle Scout a few years before me, and all of you are going to know some as well as you get older. His chest literally pumped up and it never really returned to normal size. His dad got him into a decent school. He finally graduated, and he showed off his diploma like it was his first merit badge. Today, he's miserable. He's pompous. He's a pain in the ass with no friends, 2 ex-wives, and a job that he hates. He still has his collegiate football trophy on his mantle next to his diploma and an identical copy of the form letter that I got from Gerald Ford, congratulating him for something he did 35 years ago. Do me a favor. Don't be that person. Don't wait for the world to acknowledge your accomplishments. When you're finished with scouting, donate your uniform to the troop uniform thing. In a few years, it's not going to fit you anyway. Fold up your sash and stow it away somewhere private that's important to you, along with the other tokens that you've done with what you've gotten done so far. Then roll up your sleeves, get out in the world, and put what you've learned to use. Live the Scout law. Remember the Scout oath. And remember, the Scout is clean, but is not afraid to get dirty. Micro. I'd like to get all 3 Eagle Scouts to stand up and introduce to you guys our newest 3 Eagle Scouts. There's food back here, right? I heard you made barbecue? I did. Wow. Okay, so there's going to be great food in the back room over here. That concludes our ceremony. Recipients, you should stay up here to get pictures. Your family might want a picture of you still if you haven't gotten enough. And thank you all for coming. We all appreciate it. Thank you.